Hello, this is Len Lindsay at myissvanguard.com. We're going to take a look at Lost Fleet. That's basically a brand new campaign from Wave 2, which is the stretch goal that all the people who pledged will get. I have my copy. I just received it. If you did single shipment and you're getting this, you probably also at the same time are getting the core game. Those who have played the core game, you have an advantage in my video because you've seen the game. The people brand new, you'll have some learning to do because you're going to learn the core game first, but there's many videos about that. So let's take a look. This is my second try at making a video about this. My first try, it ended up confusing. So it's gonna seem illogical probably to most of you, but I think this is the best way to show you what you're getting with Lost Fleet. This is the rule book for Lost Fleet. It's a very small rule book. It's got a cover. It's got a story on the first page. Second page is list of all the components. The back page, a diagram of all the tokens and standees. And since this is only an 8-page manual, those pages are gone. Then there's one page that tells you how to play the game, and 3 pages with fine details that you're going to need to follow like precisely on how to change the core box into a brand new box that's for the Lost Fleet. You won't be able to easily, if at all, switch back and forth between playing Lost Fleet and the core box campaign because you're going to be changing so many things. It might take you an hour to change all these things. Someone can time themselves doing it and let us know. So here is the campaign setup. This is page 1 of 3 on what you have to do to change over to be the Lost Fleet. Okay, the base game, it's going to tell you at the very beginning, you're going to take everything out of the ship book, and then you're going to take everything out of the waiting envelope. You're going to take everything out of the section compartments, all the 4 sections, and you're going to put everything back together again the way it's explained in the base game. So this is telling you to reset everything back the way it was at the very beginning. So if you've played the entire campaign, it's asking you to put everything back. Okay, then it's got 2 sections on how to fix the 2 card trays, because in the base game there's card tray A and card tray B. It's telling you what you're going to need to do to get those switched over from the core game to the Lost Fleet. I've got a photocopy of the manual I'm going to be reading from, and you've got this in front of you so we can see if we can do this and see if it works. All of the points of interest cards, so I'm going to try to manage this as I go. So the points of interest cards in the base game are all going away except the P0s and the P01s. Those are the only ones that are staying. So here's the new point of interest cards. These are what you're going to be placing in the card tray. So we're going to be doing card tray A first. So these are what's going in card tray A. The other point of interest cards are out. So we got those going in. We'll put those here. Next. Okay, here we go. Okay, then next, all the mission cards, those are going away. So we're going to take all of the old mission cards and remove them, and we're going to replace them with new mission cards for the Lost Fleet campaign. So those will be going in card tray A, and the other ones that you had before, they're going away. Okay, then let's see what's next. Next, all the global condition cards. We're going to do the same thing with them. All the global condition cards, remove them from the game. you've got brand new global condition cards for the Lost Fleet. Those are going in your card box for tray A. Next, let's see what's next. Got this so you see what's going on. Now the discovery cards, you remove 5 of them, so we're down to here. Here it's telling you you're going to remove those, and you're going to add new. Wait, we're going to be adding. No, you're just going to be removing those. I'm getting mixed up. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Remove those, and the rest you're going to put back in the correct divider inside the tray. All the other discoveries go back. Okay, next, the unique discoveries, they're going to all be new. So now we're in the next column here. So all the unique discoveries, they're going to be new. So we're going to have a whole new set of unique discoveries. And in the box, for some reason, these and like the point of interest cards, the global condition cards, all were put in like in reverse order. The ones that you'd want to look at as you're flipping through, starting with 1, are at the end. So it starts with U37. When I took it out of the box, this was the top card, and this is what I saw when I opened up the pack of cards, and I thought it had my name on it, but it doesn't really say Len. It says U37. The original game didn't have the U there; it just had the numbers, so that was not there. My name was not there in that game. So these are going into the card tray. The other unique discoveries are out. Next, the rank up cards, those you get to keep. Those are staying there, and we're going to use them just like from the original game. Now, the injury cards, you're going to take away the freezing injury cards, and you're going to add 2 new sets of injury cards. Where do I got the injury cards here? You're going to be adding two kinds of injury cards. You're going to be adding the glitched injury, and you're going to be adding the half-dead injury. And I assume it's not good to be half-dead. So, okay, those are coming into the game. 1 set's going out, and the rest of the injury cards are staying. So we're still in this column. Next, you have to take all of the event cards and remove them. And we're going to put in the advanced event cards. So the old original event cards are gone. The advanced event cards are in. That was tray A. So you've done all that. Now you're ready for tray B. Tray B has got equipment cards in it, and this one's kind of a mix. If you read through what it says to do for the equipment cards, it's telling you specifically to remove certain ones and then find certain ones and place them in the armory. And then the Lost Fleet, this new campaign has equipment cards. And so these equipment cards from the Lost Fleet are going to be put into the game after you make those adjustments with the ones from the core game. Next, let's see where we are. Next, the crew members. Some of you are going to want to make a house rule on this. I'm guessing. It says all of the crew member cards are put back into the game. So if you played the original core game, you almost undoubtedly had some of the crew die. I don't know. It would be a miracle if you didn't. If you're really bad at the game, you might have half of them that died. So they're all back to life according to the rules and in this new game. You could make a house rule that says if they died before, they're still dead. Then I think that would make sense, and that will be your rule. This is your game. You bought it. You paid good money for it. Play that the way you'd like it. Okay, next. The landing cards. It says all the landing cards are gone, and you're going to put in 2 new landing cards. Oh wait, they're the cards. Here. So we've got 2 new cards. Here we go. Those are the new cards, Leviathan and the Sabertooth. And if you flip them on the back, that's the damaged side. So try to keep it not damaged. Much better to fly with landers that are not damaged. Okay, they're out. Later, it's going to tell you to put the Void ship in. Okay, next, where are we here? Next, it's telling you the facility upgrade cards. It's a mix too. It's telling you some of them, 1 through 6. You're putting them in, and then you're adding cards 7 and 8 from the Lost Fleet. And you're also throwing in the H1 through 9 into that group as facility upgrades. So facility upgrades, where did I put facility upgrades? They're here. You've got facility upgrades, and the other ones that you've got are coming from the base game. Okay, next, so I don't lose track of where we are here. Okay, you're going to have to keep, when you're doing this, you maybe want to have a pencil and check them off as you go to make sure you do all these things. Next to situation cards, it's telling you certain situation cards. Where are they? Where are my situation cards? Here, search situation cards. It's telling you certain ones are going to go into the possible situations, and all the other ones take away. And then after you've done that, you look for the situation cards that came with the Lost Fleet game. So you put all these situation cards in with the ones that are left over. And since you're drawing them at random, you just mix them in. Okay, next. There we go. Next after that, you're going to remove all the research project cards, and you're going to remove all the production project cards. They're over and done with from the core game, and now you're going to have 2 sets of cards for the research and for production. And on the bottom, it says, don't peek at what's on the back. So it's your game as before. You own it. If you don't want to be surprised, peek on the back. If you like to do it the way the rules say, make sure that you actually construct it, build it, assemble it, find it in the research before you look to see what you found. So those are going into the game. The ones from the core game are out. Okay, next. Now we have something brand new at the bottom. It's the survivors. There's a divider card that they gave you. It's just a divider card. So the cards go behind it. The cards that go behind it are the brand new kind of cards called survivor cards. So you have survivor cards. And those you'll be playing with in this game. And the game will explain how those work as you go. And now, next in the line, it's the lander mods. At the very bottom, it says remove one of them, the A31, and then put all the rest, plus the new ones that you get in the game, into the card tray B that we're working on. So, where's my lander mods? Here. Lander mods, utility, power boost. Okay, you don't really, spoiler alert, don't want to really look at them, but they're your mods that you can add. These to the ones from the core game, they're going into tray B. So now you've got A and B adjusted with that, and I think we still got more to go. That's just that we just did 1 page of changes. We got 2 more pages to go. Next, on the next page, I'll remove this from my notes here. We're going to start at the top now. That's where we are now. We're going to remove all the objective and secondary objective cards from the game, and we're going to put the new ones that came with the game. So we've got all the objective cards. Okay, where we got objective cards. These are the little ones, little objective cards. The old ones are gone, new ones are in. Next, okay, keep going up here. And then after that, those go behind the bridge cards. The morale card and tech level bridge upgrades and the Lost Fleet bridge upgrade cards go behind the bridge cards divider. This sounds like it's mixing them together. So we do have some of these bridge cards here. So they're going to be going in the tray B behind the bridge card divider. Okay, where are we? Here. Next, the secret envelope. So that should, oh wait, before the secret envelope, it talks about the tutorial deck. It told you to put the tutorial deck together, then now it's telling you to remove the tutorial deck from the game. So look at log 720, and it's going to tell you the things that go in the tutorial decks, and they're getting removed. And I will just tell you ahead of time, there's some crew members in that tutorial deck. Those are back in the game because they're part of the recruits, unless you made the house rule that if they died, they're dead. Okay, now finally we're going to get to the secret envelope. If you have not played the full core game, the secret envelope came about halfway. So if you haven't played, it's still intact. If you have played the game, they want you to put everything back. They want you to separate the dice that were in there again. And this is where they tell you to get all the advanced event cards into the card tray, which I already told you to do that. And so let's see. And fix up your ship book too. Because the secret envelope adjusted your ship book. Okay, next we're going to talk about the ship book, which is here. So the ship book, we're going to take all the things, all the pages basically are going back into the ship book, and then it tells you to take out and replace. So they're giving you replacement pages for the ship book. So 27 and 28, that piece of paper, the thick cardboard piece of paper, 27 and 28, with unloading and debriefing. You have a new version of that that's going to go into the ship book. Next, you're going to have pages 31 and 32. Here's 31 and 32. So those are new from the Lost Fleet. And then it tells you to, where are we? Let's make sure we're still following. Make sure you follow all this stuff. And then 39 and 40, they want you to change. So here we go. 39 is the save point, saving the game. And then it has survivor quarters. So here we go with survivor quarters. This is going to be something new. You're already guessing it's got something to do with those survivor cards. Okay, that's now in the ship book. Okay, after that, I see we're here, right here now. So after that, it's telling us to add one card holder that holds cards. It's called page 41. So this goes at the end. It's just one-sided. On the back is blank. On this side, it's got room for cards. And you can look at the top. You'll see there's going to be cards there for diplomacy and obedience on both sides, plus survivor quarters upgrade. And on the bottom are the survivor quarters. Okay, those are going at the end in the ship book. Okay, next, we've followed that. Now, there's the card holders. Remember, the card holders are the plastic pages with slots where you put in cards. Now you're going to look through this list, and you're going to find all those cards, and you're going to put them in the slots that it tells you. So you're going to put a tech level card, a morale card. You're going to put in 2 bridge upgrades. Let me see. I'll read it from mine so you can see it. Bridge upgrade. You're going to put in a facility upgrade. You're going to put a Void Ranger lander card. So there's where your Void Ranger comes back into the game. And you're going to put some lander mods, 10 of them, on page 21. And then at the next column, let's start up here now. Okay, next column. You're going to put in some unique discoveries, 4 of them. And then on page 41, remember we just talked about putting that in. Now you're going to put a very low diplomacy level, and you're going to put a very low obedience level, and you're going to throw in the facility upgrade card F08 in the middle up at the top, and a survivor card. You're going to put one survivor card in. Okay, now the logbook. This is going to be interesting. People who've played the game are probably wondering about this, and here's where it tells you what's happening. If this is telling you, you have your choice right now. If you played the game, you can choose. If you want to apply all the things that happened in the game that you finished, all the choices you made where you were checking off boxes and things happened, if you want that to be continued into the Lost Fleet game, you can have that happen. After we do this, it's going to tell you what you can do if you prefer not to have that happen. So here it's telling you right here the things that you're going to do. It's telling you to look at these logs. Okay, right there. Look at these logs. You're going to look at log 930, and there's 3 things you're going to be looking for. And if like, just let's take the first one. If something is not, if like box B is not marked, mark the box in log 1202. So now we're already talking about going in, changing things in the logbook that comes with the Lost Fleet. So at the beginning of this logbook, it's 1202 they were talking about. Now we've got places where you're going to be checking boxes here based on what was not checked or checked, but in this case not checked in the original logbook. So let's continue on with, where were we here? Here we are. Okay, then it's telling you to look at log 910. If, like box B there, if it is marked, then you mark the box in 1205. So this is just going down the line. Take your pencil, check them off as you go. And remember, you're doing this because you want things to be carried forward from that game that you previously played. And then at the end, it says there's a log 965 that they want you to look at, and a log 920 that they want you to look at. Okay, now we're done with 2 pages of how to get this box set up for the Lost Fleet. And there's only 1 page left, and then after that 1 page fixing things up is 1 page of how to start the game. So here we are. This is the 3rd page of how you fix the box to be ready to play. So we're back up at the top of the column. It's telling you to look at log 920 and 960 and follow that appropriately. Now, when you get to the third bullet point, log 880, that's your survivors. If you played the entire game and you got to the end of the game, it asks you to record who survived. 880 is that list. So at this point, it's telling you if you followed through to the end of the game and you did that log, and if you use the app, if you use the app, it did provide you a way to log this in the app too. So you can go back in the app, look at log 880, and there will be your list. If you did the paper copy, you will have it right on the paper copy. You wrote it into the logbook. Okay, so 880, that's where you're going to find those, and let's see what happens with those. You find them and you put them in the section compartments. Remember, there's 4 sections, and right now they're empty. So you're filling them. You're starting to fill them now. Put those people because they survived in. This is because you decided by doing all these things you wanted to continue this Lost Fleet based on what happened in the previous core game. Now, the very next paragraph starts with the word if. So there we go. If you don't have save choices from the base game, let's say, for example, you only played half of it and you just want to jump now into the Lost Fleet. You can do this procedure instead. And it also says if you did play the entire thing, you don't have to have everything follow through from the core to this game. You can decide that you didn't like how things turned out, for example, and you'd like to change a few things. You can do that now. So right here it's telling you, rather than going through the logs and choosing, checking off boxes to match the previous logbook, you could just ask yourself questions. You could say, here, you're going to read that with me. you can say, is Captain Wayman alive? Mark the box. Is Dr. Corey alive? Mark the box. Is the ambassador alive? Mark the box. So you're asking yourself these questions. You decide who, maybe they died, maybe they're alive. You are deciding right now because you decided to do some of these changes. So you continue on and on and on until you get to the part where it talks about here. You have to choose one. In the original game, the core game, there was a diplomatic path and a military path. At this point, you could choose which path you'd like to be on. You only get to choose one. You choose that now by marking box A or box B. Now, it's telling you to prepare the section compartments. Now, the section compartments, if you were following through the other game, remember there were survivors, you threw some crew members into the boxes. So you might have some crew members already there. But you're going to also be putting in the rank sleeves and the section cards. Remember, the section cards are combined from both. So we're putting those into the 4 section containers. Now the rank sleeves, let's see, the base game both. Yeah, we're putting both of them together. Now the dice, so that should take care of that. Here's the starting dice. So you're going to take a look at the dice you've got and set up each of the 4 sections to have these dice. So go through one section at a time and find those dice. That's what you start with. And then it's telling you other components here, other components underneath the dice. It's telling you there's all kinds of things that we're going to just leave them in the game box. That doesn't mean that you're never going to use them. It just means you're not using them at the very beginning when you start Lost Fleet. And you'll see how that works when you start. You kind of just get started and then things get added back. So now it's telling you more things, and we're almost done though. This is the end of the column, and this is the end of all the changes you have to make. So there they are. It's telling you that the standees and tokens go into the game box. All the alien dice, they go into your unbought section dice, so they're going to become available to you. So alien dice, it'll be on the next page. So the next page I will talk about alien dice. So hang on for a second for the alien dice. Okay, they're going to be available to you. You're going to remove the threat cards. This is the 3rd bullet, and from the base game that aren't listed on page 8 from the game. So put all the threat cards from that from the Lost Fleet campaign into the card tray. So now we got to look for those. I've got those here. So you've got all of these threat cards. They're going to go into the card trays. They're going to be available during the game. This is mine. Where's yours? Here. This is yours. Here we go. We're back to the bottom. Okay. Now it's got threat cards. Okay. Here's, you put the Void Ranger Lander card and Lander cards from the Lost Fleet. So you're going to have 3 Lander cards put in there now. You're going to remove the Danger Die reference card from the game. Leave the reference cards in the tray. And now you've got new reference cards. So here, when you get the Lost Fleet, you're going to get 2 copies of the Danger Die reference card, which that's got 2 sides to it. And you're going to get 2 copies of a reference card for the alien dice. So that's those. Next, where's the book? Put it back for you to read. Next, oh, the logbook. So here it's telling you the Lost Fleet campaign uses the following. Where do we have the Lost Fleet? Uses the following right here, right there. We're rereading that. It's telling you that there's a separate logbook, a separate system maps book, a separate Planetopedia, and a separate operation book. The originals from the core game are not going to be used. So basically, it's just telling you something you probably figured. you're going to have in the Lost Fleet in operations and the logbook. Both of these are new. The ones from the core game, they're out. You're going to have a new Planetopedia with the maps that you're going to be exploring. That's new. The old Planetopedia is out. Oh, and then you also have a new lander, what would you call this? I don't know if it's a card sheet. So you have two sides. You have Leviathan and Sabertooth. You have that. Okay, and these are done. These are done. Did I cover everything? Survivors. And did I show you? I don't think I showed you. These are the new section cards you're getting. All the sections are getting new cards to be added into what you've had before. So you'll get to see some of that. Now let's see if I got everything. Okay. Now it tells you at the very bottom there. It's telling you the new shipbook page star map and a card holder page 6A are not used at the beginning of the game, but will appear. So keep them available. So those you're not going to worry about at the beginning right now. So here's the Starfleet star map book. We're not using that immediately. And here's what they were talking about. This star map page, don't worry about it. Don't put it in. That's going to come up later. And there's another page here for cards. Don't worry about it. That's page at the bottom. It says 6A at the bottom there. Okay, those don't worry about. They will come later. As you were going with these, taking all these cards out, you took more cards out than you put in. So they gave you this handy dandy, it looks to me like it's a card box, but they call it a filler box. You just make this and you put it into the card tray, and it keeps the cards from tipping over because there's too few cards. So this is going to fill up that much space so that the cards don't tip over. They gave you a box for that. That's your filler box. Okay. Also later in the game, when you're using the scanner to scan for your planets, you've got these are the ones I don't want you to look, where you're going to be going. And those are going to be matching up with that ship book that I showed you, the map book. Okay. And then make sure I show you what's included. You do get, I don't think I showed you these, you're getting 8 tokens that are going to be going on your board for equipments. You're also getting two lander here. 2 landers. Those are the standees for the landers, and the other ones are your threat, aliens and threats. So those you've got coming to you there. And that looks pretty empty. So now we're just ready for the one page where they say how to start your game. Basically, they're saying use the previous rule book. Start with chapter 3 and play. So if you're getting this all in one and you wanted to start with the Lost Fleet before you play the core game, you can, but you're going to need to read all the rules to see how everything works. If you've already played the game, they are assuming that you remember how everything works. Some of you have finished the game long ago. You might need to refresh your memory with that rule book. Okay, so now here's what they're telling you for the campaign. They say 20 to 30 hours is what they are thinking it's going to take for the campaign. Unless you play like me, it might take you 20 or 30 hours to play 3 missions. I think a lot. And then there's the operations here. It talks about them. For those, it says 2 to 3 hours. And it's 1 to 4 players for both, just like the previous game. Now, the alien dice. Here we go. There's the alien dice, and I've got the examples here. You get 3 of each. They're basically white dice printed in a color, which are the opposite of the dice that came in the core game, which were colors with white print. So now you got the red, the green, and the blue prints on it. These are the symbols for the 3 different aliens. So those are the 3 symbols. what this is telling you for the alien dice is those three symbols. Here's what, in case you want to know, here's the names of the aliens right here. There's three different aliens. The, can you pronounce them for me? Idemian, Aragon, and the Visitor. So those are the symbols that I just showed you. And what they're telling you is, basically, they didn't say it, but I'll sum it up. Here's what happens. If you take the alien dice that's got red print on it and look on this chart here with that symbol, there's three symbols after it from the standard dice that come in the core game. Those are the symbols that appear on the red dice. And the same for the blue and for the green. So we've got a color matchup in that way. And so that's telling you right there is if you roll this symbol, you can choose right on the fly which one of the three symbols you would like it to be. So that's going to be your choice each time that you roll it. And yes, I think, yeah, here. And just like on some of the other dice in the standard core game, there's one side that's got two of those symbols there. So then each one, you can choose which of those three symbols you want it to be. The Vanguard dice, which is the alien dice. Now, there's one thing someplace it says when you're putting the dice, I don't know where they've got it, when you're putting the dice on your cards, your crew cards, and there's a line for each, like for red and the blue and the green. These, if you have any alien dice that you're putting on that card, you can put them in any of the columns that you wish, and that will be helpful to you because if you take a low-ranked character, they might not be able to have too many of a certain colored dice, and you might want to get more of your alien dice in, and you can choose which ones to bump out. If you have a highly ranked character, crew member, you might not have to worry about that as much. Other things it's telling you about when you're playing the situation room. You can choose situation cards from the waiting envelope and from the shipbook. The equipment cards, they say that they're going to be unlockable for players during the campaign. Deadly Space, right here, Deadly Space. It's supposed to, I think, make the game more difficult. I've seen comments from people who say that they thought it made it easier. I seriously doubt that it's making it easier, but maybe if you're like into that mode, you can. And here's the little glossary at the end that you might need to know. Okay, I think I covered the whole thing. It's been a weird look into what came in the box, but this, I think, actually makes sense. My first take on trying to do this was too confusing. So I'm Len Lindsay. I have the website myissvanguard.com. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to a new year.